Whenever I play Mario Kart or Mario Party, there's always one character I have to play as. Dry Bones. When someone asks me about my favorite childhood memory, I reply with 2 words. Dry Bones. You might think it's just a skeletal version of a Koopa Troopa. What's so cool about him? Everything. Everything is so cool about Dry Bones. Okay, this might have to do with Mario Kart DS a little bit. The first Mario game, heck, first video game I ever played, and still to this day is the game I poured the most hours into. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was the first Mario game for many other people who grew up with the DS. Either that or New Super Mario Bros. DS. But as a 5-year-old who had nothing to do in his life, Mario Kart DS had so much replay value. New Super Mario Bros. DS is an amazing game, no doubt, but I was just really bad at it. Like, that's honestly the main reason I played more Mario Kart DS. With all the time spent on this game, a majority of that time was, of course, spent playing Dry Bones with the Dry Bomber. And like many other people, I didn't know this was one of the best character kart combinations in the game. But just using it, the controls felt so precise. And a skeleton in a tank looked really cool. The high acceleration, high handling, and low drift all meant that this was the best way to master snaking. And somehow, you bet 5-year-old me struggled to memorize his LMNOPs, yet when it came to snaking in Mario Kart DS, no biggie. To be fair, it took almost a year to properly learn it, but after watching many time trial videos recorded in some creepy dark looking rooms, I finally understood the art of wiggling my thumb left and right on the D-pad. And doing that for hours on end kinda hurts. There's also another character who got a similar treatment in Mario Kart Wii, a character who, like Dry Bones, was the best in the game and had one of the coolest looking designs in the whole roster. This, of course, being Funky Kong, specifically rocking the Flame Runner. And considering more people own Mario Kart Wii in comparison to DS, and its community is still alive to this day due to CTGP, Funky has to have a larger fanbase than Dry Bones. Yeah, not really. Well, what inspired me to make this video was Shay Frillis' video on the most popular Mario characters, where Funky Kong was sitting at 15th place with 2,875 votes, while Dry Bones was in 12th place, doesn't seem much, but with 3,918 votes. Over 1,000 more votes to Dry Bones, even though Funky seems to be the fan favorite when it comes to Mario Kart. Heck, in Mario Kart DS alone, after Dry Bones I also played Rob a decent amount, because the only thing I love almost as much as a dead prehistoric reptile is a robot. And yes, when I first saw Dry Bones, I thought he was a dead Yoshi, like some sort of Yoshi fossil which had been resurrected. Also, for a long time, I thought Rob was a Mario character, rather than a peripheral used to promote the NES. And you already know that same mindset followed into Brawl, where I genuinely believed Rob was a newcomer representing the Mario franchise. Rob the Robot also had an animated TV series which aired for 3 seasons between 2010 to 2013, receiving 3 nominations and an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Anyways, enough about Rob. He doesn't actually stand a chance against Dry Bones. I just would have felt bad if I didn't bring him up. That's because aside from Smash, Rob was never playable again. In terms of Funky, he was playable late in the same year as Mario Kart Wii in Mario Super Sluggers, which had a roster of 72 characters if counting alternate colors of Yoshi, Shy Guys, Magic Koopas, etc. The thing is, with other DK characters like Tiny Kong and King K. Rool showing up, Funky Kong doesn't stand out here as much as he did in Mario Kart Wii. And after this, Funky wasn't included in another Mario roster until Mario Kart Tour and Wave 6 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. On the other hand, 4 different types of Dry Bones were in Mario Super Sluggers, but more importantly, Dry Bones returned in Mario Kart Wii and got added to Mario Party 7 and 8. The core reason why Dry Bones was so loved in Mario Kart DS, other than being the best character in the game and cause skeletons are cool, is because there was hardly anyone to pick outside of the main Mario cast due to the small roster of 12 characters. And except for the Switch era, Mario Party has also always consisted of small character rosters. However, including Dry Bones in Mario Party 7 didn't really pose a huge impact, since if you grew up with the DS, the home console you likely owned was a Wii, not a GameCube. Luckily, Mario Party 8 is a Wii game that kept that Dry Bones momentum going, because he's a legend from Mario Kart DS, you have to play as him. And with 14 characters to choose from, The only ones who really caught my eye other than Drybones were the unlockable characters Blooper and Hammerbro, and Boo, who has somehow been there since Mario Party 5. It is pretty sad to think that Koopas haven't been playable in any of these Mario spin-offs in which their skeletal counterpart has made the cut, but he did eventually get revenge in Mario Party 9 and Mario Kart 7 where Drybones was kicked off the squad. Despite this, I feel the number of games Drybones is playable in was enough to maintain his popularity over time, while not being in so many spin-offs that we start questioning why every Koopa Trooper needs to have their flesh taken away to be allowed in a Mario roster. Like, considering the 22 playable characters in Mario Party Jamboree, which is pretty large for a Mario Party game, Drybones somehow didn't make the cut. But that just makes me want to play as him even more the next time I boot up Mario Party 7, 8 or Super. Take Rosalina for example. Having the Protector of the Cosmos from Mario Galaxy was insane in Mario Kart Wii, but then she just kept appearing in every single Mario spin-off. Like, it makes sense, the only female human characters in Mario rosters were Peach and Daisy before this, so they needed another one. But before, I used to be like, whoa, I can play as Rosalina, to now being like, oh yeah, Rosalina's here. The fact that Drybones is added in some rosters but not a majority of them keeps the hype alive since his Dry Bomber days, as he still feels like a unique character to pick. Plus, YouTubers like Odyssey Central and TWD98 have shown many of their fans why Drybones is absolute peak. And even if Drybones isn't playable, no matter what Mario game you boot up, you'll always find him here or there. Like that one friend who you hardly ever see in person, but keep in touch with because you'll always remember the fun times you had with them. Sneaking across Waluigi Pinball, pushing Toad into the abyss in Twilight House, those were some good times. And that moment you finally get to play as him again, all that enjoyment comes rushing back. And maybe, just maybe, one day, they will finally announce that Season 4 of Rob the Robot is in development! Thanks for watching everybody.